You know, I have some remarks prepared today, and I'm a little bit nervous to go after Jordan and Natalie. I'm not going to lie, you guys did a really great job. I'm really impressed. It makes me even prouder to be from this community. So graduates, students, faculty, and families, thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you today, particularly after such an incredible year of firsts, milestones, and local events that have and will continue to serve as game changers for this group of graduates and this generation as a whole. I am blessed to have grown up in this tight-knit familial community, and I am proud to stand up in front of you today as a KHS graduate. I grew up in Patton, and I spent almost every summer of my junior high and high school career working for my dad at Richardson's Hardware. I did it all, from hauling cement to managing the books to making deliveries. No task was beneath me, especially when one of our older customers, our older male customers, wanted to tell me, "Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. I'll wait for one of the men to help me." To me, those words spoke volumes. They lit a fire in me, and they made me work that much harder to get what I wanted. Instead of just accepting things, I would find a way to be disruptive. Not in a negative manner, but in such a way that would push the boundaries and force people to think differently, even if they didn't realize it. In essence, those lessons in the hardware store shaped who I am today. As a student here at Katahdin, I was just as fierce. I pushed myself to be a student athlete while simultaneously excelling in my coursework. I was always an advocate for those around me who wanted to be better, and even for those who didn't know they could be better, but I saw something in them, and that has continued to serve me well today. As I prepared for today, and I reflected on my 22-year career and realized how old I had become, it really struck me that many of the ideals and traits that I hold with me today, I learned right here in this community. I'd like to talk to you all today about three things. Three essential things that I learned right here. I would implore you to arm yourself with these as you set out into the world. Whether you are pursuing a trade, a higher learning degree, enlisting in the military, or you simply haven't decided yet what you want to do when you leave these halls. They are three things that I think most of the people from this community already have, and so do you. It's what you choose to do with them that will truly set you apart. These things are passion, integrity, and accountability. Simple, right? I think so. Passion, by definition, is a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something or about doing something. I would propose that most of you basically think that if something's worth doing, it's worth doing well, right? I mean, truly. I've never done something that I really wanted to do and then looked back and said, wow, thank God I put half my heart into that. It was so worth it. No, come on. Might there be something that you don't like to do and maybe you put forth less effort? Sure, we all do. But at the end of the day, if you are truly passionate about what you're doing, you're going to get out of it exactly what you put into it. I promise. Find what you're passionate about, then figure out how to weave that into your future. That may not come tomorrow, it may not come 4 years from now. But if you continue to do whatever it is you're passionate about, things will eventually pay off for you. Once you realize you have passion, and I'm guessing you all have passion for something in your lives, you'll start to feel fulfilled. Maintaining that passion is not always easy, but if you can harness it, it will be well worth it. Integrity. Integrity is one of those things that you either have or you don't. I hope you all do, because at the end of the day, your integrity is the only thing that you can truly hold as your own. Integrity, to me, is doing the right thing, even and especially when no one is looking. When someone on my team at work comes to me with a situation that they have found themselves in, and they don't know what to do, I always tell them that as long as they can wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and still respect who they see, then they have made the right decision. Once you lose your way, it's really difficult to get yourself back on track. Integrity should come easily, And surrounding yourself with people that hold the same values as you do makes living this way all much simpler. As you leave Katahdin High School, you are inevitably going to find yourself in situations with new friends, new associates, and new surroundings that are going to force you to make tough decisions. This is when you leaned on what you learned from small town values. Use sound judgment, rely on your gut, and hold high your moral compass. You have one, I promise. Sometimes the most rewarding paths are those that come with the most difficult decisions. You will be faced with some tough ones throughout your lives. Just remember this, you have to live with you every single day. The world is not easy. Change is hard. Act with integrity, be honest, and be bold. Always, no matter the consequence. Hand in hand with everything you do in this life, to me, comes accountability. Over the years, I have come to realize that holding yourself accountable is one of the toughest yet most rewarding things that you can do. I say to my team all of the time, if it's worth doing, it's worth measuring. Set a goal, hold yourself to first meeting that goal, and then exceeding it. Accountability is technically defined as the obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. This is true at work, at school, at home, and with all of the things that you will face as you walk out of here today. I constantly tell my kids, not my fault is not going to be part of your vocabulary. You may think it, but don't you dare say it out loud. Instead, why don't you think about all of the things that you could have done differently to change the outcome? Get some skin in the game. Otherwise, get out of the way. Guess what, guys? You're going to fail. Natalie said it. I'm saying it too. You are. I have, many times. The funny thing about failure is that it breeds knowledge if, and only if, you hold yourself accountable for not only the actions that got you there, but what you're going to do going forward to make sure that you don't make the same mistake twice. Failure is only true failure if you repeat it. Pick yourself up, look at yourself in the mirror, know that only you can change the circumstances of the situation, and then do something about it. Grab responsibility by the horns and drive yourself as far as you are willing to go. It's invigorating and it's rewarding. You guys ever heard of the Tough Mudder? Well, unfortunately, not only have I heard of it, I have the t-shirt to prove that I finished it. I won't dive into all the trials and tribulations that I experienced along the way and what I would probably describe as the most physically grueling hours of my life. But I will tell you that on the back of that t-shirt is a pledge, and it simply states these 5 things. I understand that Tough Mudder is not a race, but a challenge. I put teamwork and camaraderie before my course time. I do not whine. Kids whine. I help my fellow mudders complete the course, and I overcome all fears. In a way, if you think about it, Tough Mudder is kind of like high school. Just take that one step further into life beyond these hallowed halls. You have to be gritty, you have to be thoughtful, you have to be a good classmate, you have to be compassionate, and most of all, you have to be fearless. You are all of those things already. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made it this far. Look at all of the things that have happened and continue to happen in the world around you that will shape the future just during your senior year. The Me Too movement began, enabling women to confront harassment in the workplace with less fear. You can go online and grocery shop while at work and then pick it up on your way home or even have it delivered. The first Black superhero was introduced on the big screen, giving generations a new glimpse of what grace and power can be. And here at home, Katahdin schools have formed their own RSU. The outdoor education program was formed, enabling students to bank volunteer hours helping in the community. Your sports teams were highly successful, making postseason appearances in soccer, basketball, and baseball. Go Cougars. Katahdin's first bridge-year cohort is graduating, with each student having 30 college credits already, and factoring entering college as sophomores. Today, you have the enviable opportunity to make a difference in whatever you choose to do. whether it impacts the world or just one person. The opportunities in front of you are boundless. It doesn't matter whether you are from a small, blue-collar community like this or an upper-class Manhattan neighborhood. You have a brain, you have a voice, and now you have a diploma. Use them. So, to the class of 2018, with all of the continued progress that has occurred this year, along with the inevitable setbacks that momentum and change constantly face, I will leave you with this. Be bold, be fearless, be passionate, let your moral compass be your guide, hold yourself accountable, do not be afraid to fail, and always, always remember where you are from and be proud of how it has shaped you. Thank you and congratulations.
Standing in front of you all today, there are so many things I could say. One of the first being, wow. I would like to apologize before I start. If you can hear my heart beating, just try to ignore that. I know this is cliche, but I think I'm speaking for most of my class when I say, wow, these 4 years went by fast. Now, I know what some of the people sitting to my left and to my right are thinking. What is she talking about? These years didn't go by fast enough. Throughout the roughly 1,349 days, 10 hours, 46 minutes, and 32 seconds we spent in high school, we were all waiting for our much-needed Fridays, hot, mosquito-filled summers, and most importantly, waiting to graduate. Well, class of 2018, today is the day we have all been waiting for. The day we finally obtain our diplomas and walk out of those gymnasium doors for what may be the last time. As we begin our big journey into this big world full of adulting, I would like to leave you with a few messages of encouragement. One of the first messages I would like to leave my class with is, don't wish your life away. In the blink of an eye, we will be heading off to college or going to work. We will be becoming adults. Though we may not all have the same intentions, though we may not all be going down the same path, we all have the same intentions, and that is to be successful. In this life we live, there is one universe, 8 planets, 195 countries, 2,000 islands, and 5 oceans. And here we are, in Stacyville, Maine. Class of 2018 graduates, don't be afraid to venture outside of our little bubble. Explore this world and be successful in whatever you may decide to do. Whether that be going to college for speech pathology, nursing, auto mechanics, plumbing and heating, welding, psychology, paramedicine, early childhood education, engineering, pre-law, applied sciences, going into the Marines, or just going right out into the workforce. The young adults who are looking at today have copious amounts of potential in which they will one day use to succeed in whatever they decide to do. The second message I would like to leave my class with is, it is okay to say, I don't know. These past few months, many have questioned us on our college plans, career choices, and life decisions. And often, they would get an answer of, I don't know. Let me get back to you on that. Remember this specific line for other times throughout your life. For instance, in about 4 years, when you're done with college and your parents ask, when are you going to move out and stop eating all of our food? To which you could reply, I don't know. Let me get back to you on that. My next message to deliver to my class is simple. Believe in yourself. If you were able to believe in Santa Claus for 8 years, then you can believe in yourself for 5 minutes. Believe that you can get into the school you want. Believe that you can get that job. Believe that you can get that promotion. Believe you can be the person who people tell you you can't be. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will. I know this class is capable of doing amazing things. You just have to get out there and do it. Things may get tough and you may feel like quitting, but we made it this far. And let's be honest, sometimes we question if even that was going to happen. As said by Mel Brooks, hope for the best, expect the worst. Life is a play, we're unrehearsed. Not everything you do will be perfect the first time. My point is, don't give up on yourself. Before I conclude, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who have helped us to get this far in our journey. On behalf of the graduating class of 2018, we would like to thank the staff, faculty, and community members who have made these past 4 years more enjoyable, memorable, and at times, less hectic. And also a special thank you to Ms. Harvey for keeping our class in line and for not doubting us when others did, especially when we were labeled that class. Personally, I would like to thank my mother and father for all of their love and support, and also my family for believing in me and helping me pursue my goal of a higher education. As a class, we've all experienced so many stressors this year. Senior scrapbook, portfolio, scholarships, college applications, 4 hours of classes with Miss Harvey, and the biggest one for me, this speech. All to stand in a giant robe that's 4 sizes too big and extremely warm at this point in time, and a cap that we just can't seem to keep on the top of our heads, just to receive a piece of paper basically saying, "You're done." With all that was going on, I was still faced with the task of writing this speech. So, when Jordan asked me how I was going to finish my speech, I replied, "I don't know. Let me get back to you on that." Congratulations to the class of 2018.
And now, the time for the diplomas, which all of you have been waiting for. Hannah Elizabeth Drew. Kendall Lane. Shaylee Anderson. Austin Barilski. Jordan Molly Ritchie. Brian Mason. Cheyenne Foss. Tanner Lane. Ashley Kalenka. Rig Otero.
Get it, go.
Cheyenne Marie Unterreiner. Dakota S. McNally. Kate Lindsay Anderson. Cooper Drew. Jasmine Renee Collins. Chase Tapley.
Yeah, buddy.
Leanne Elizabeth Fitzpatrick.
We love Goofy Head.
Brian Kimball.